Hi and welcome to Weathercast. Today we are going to discuss about the monsoon trough dynamics and how it plays an important role during the southwest monsoon. So this is a very important feature, the monsoon trough, which helps in bringing widespread rainfall during the monsoon season, which runs from June to September, and this is especially during the southwest monsoon season. So we are going to discuss the dynamics. So before we jump into the monsoon trough, what it is, let us set up some basic terms and let us set up a foundation so that things will get clear. So like I said, the monsoon trough plays a very important role and is an important feature during the southwest monsoon. Of course, it is not the only feature. There are many other factors like differential heating between the ocean and land, the Tibetan plateau heating, which causes a low pressure near the Tibetan plateau, surface low pressure, that helps in changing the wind patterns from easterlies to westerlies. And then you have the ITCZ movement, the intertropical convergence zone, that moves from equator towards north. And at the same time, you also have a monsoon circulation, and these two put together is known as the monsoon trough. And you also have the Mascaron high and the Somali jet. So today we are going to discuss about the ITCZ movement and monsoon circulation, which put together is called the monsoon trough, because that is a very important aspect which determines which part of India is going to get rain and when is the break phase for a particular region, when is the active phase for a particular region. So like I said, before we get into the dynamics of monsoon trough and how to find how to read them on weather charts, there are some terms which need to be formalized. And one of them is the Intertropical Convergence Zone, or ITCZ. So what is this ITCZ? It is nothing but the line that runs near the equator, and close to that line is where the northeasterly trade winds and the southeasterly trade winds meet. So the easterly winds from the northern hemisphere and the easterly winds from the southern hemisphere, they meet together, and that forms the ITCZ. So near the ITCZ, because of the convergence of these two winds, there is a low pressure belt. So this entire ITCZ is nothing but a low pressure belt, because you have the heating from the sun, which is very high near the equator and less near the pole. Because of that heating, you create a circulation, a cell forms, and also because the trade winds meet, as they meet, then they create a convergence in the upward direction. So anything that moves upwards is a low pressure system. Okay, so this is a belt of low pressure, and close to the ITCZ is where the ascending limb of the Hadley cell forms, and the descending limb is near the mid latitude. Okay, so this is the generic pattern. So ITCZ is basically where the ascending limb of the Hadley cell circulation starts. And what happens is, basically, if you want to look at the Hadley cell, since there is vertical convergence because of the heating present near the equator and also the winds meeting. So as the winds meet, the air has to be pushed upwards because there is no other place air can move. So it goes upwards towards the meridional direction, and then because of Coriolis force, it turns to the west and it again comes down. The descending limb will be near the mid latitude, and then as it descends down, again because of the Coriolis force in the northern hemisphere, it will get twisted to the right. So this is the cell that is forming, and that's how you have the westerlies at the mid latitude and easterlies at the equator. That is the typical setup. Easterly winds at the equator, westerly winds at the mid latitude. So that is the role of ITCZ, where the easterlies meet. Now what happens is, during the summer season, the intertropical convergence zone, or the ITCZ, starts to shift. It is usually at the equator, but because of the heating near the Tibetan plateau, okay, so that heating causes the ITCZ to move. So this Indian low is nothing but the ITCZ. The reason we have written it as an Indian low is because this Indian low, which is a part of the ITCZ, which is the low pressure belt, get subsumed in the monsoon circulation, because this is around the summertime is when the monsoon is also starting to progress. Okay, so that's why this is known as the Indian low. And if you see the ITCZ movement, it is not much in the African or the American side, but it bends a lot. So it moves a lot in the Indian and the Southeast Asian region. Okay, so if you see the ITCZ shift or the Hadley cell shift, that is very high near the Indian region, South Asian and Southeast Asian region. That is where you have the highest shift, and that shift is basically due to the differential in the heating between the ocean and the land, which creates heating near the Tibetan plateau, and because of that, the ITCZ is pushed upwards. So that basically means that the Hadley cell is basically pushed to the north. So the normal line is here, but during the monsoons, during the onset of the monsoon season, this ITCZ line is shifted upwards. So what it basically does is it shifts the easterlies to north. Okay, so these easterly trade winds get shifted upwards because now the ascending limb is no longer here. The ascending limb will be near the to the north. Okay, and that's why the easterlies will be above that. Okay, so as the ITCZ line shifts up, the easterly winds will also shift up. Okay, that is the basic reason, and that is what we call as the tropical easterly jet. So that tropical easterly jet is the jet that has shifted northwards. And what happens in the close to the equator is that there is a cross-equatorial flow from the Somali jet because of the mascaron anticyclone, and that makes the winds westerly. So that's how you have the westerly winds below the ITCZ line, and then you have the easterly winds above the ITCZ line. And that change of this winds is what starts the monsoon. Yeah, so this is because of the Coriolis force, like which we explained, the winds become easterlies, and that's why you have the tropical easterly jet, which is above the ITCZ line. So this is the ITCZ movement, how it moves. So you can see that this is January, but ITCZ line is here. In the February also it is near the equator, and shift to April or March or even June, you see the clouding. So ITCZ line is basically a low pressure belt, so there will be a lot of cloud near the ITCZ line, and that is now being shifted to near the Tibetan plateau. You can clearly see, and now after the monsoon season, it will again shift back down. So this is June, July, August will also have a similar. Yeah, see, July also ITCZ is right here, and shift to October or November, this line will move down. Yeah, see, now slowly this clouding is getting cleared because ITCZ is going to shift down, and again November it is near the equator. Of course, it will not be. It will since you have the northeast monsoon also, so it will kind of be near the southern India. Okay. So then the second term which is important for the monsoon trough is the monsoon circulation. So what is this monsoon circulation? We already discussed the ITCZ line shifts up because of the shifting of the ITCZ line. The easterly winds will prevail above the ITCZ line, and then because of the cross-equatorial flow, because set up by the mascaron anticyclone or the mascaron high and the Somali jet, the winds will become westerly below the ITCZ line. So that's why you have the west and east kind of wind patterns, and the west and east kind of wind pattern. So this is westerly and this is easterly. So this creates a circulation which is a cyclonic circulation. So the winds are moving anti-clockwise. So this sets up a nice long scale, synoptic scale circulation which extends all the way from South India near Kerala and all the way to the north, so covering the entire Indian subcontinent. And this circulation is the very important aspect known as the monsoon circulation. So this monsoon circulation sets up because of the ITCZ movement and the westerly winds which are set up below the ITCZ and the easterly winds which are set up above the ITCZ. And this circulation is anti-clockwise in motion, which is cyclonic in northern hemisphere, because anti-clockwise motion means cyclonic in northern hemisphere. And as soon as the cyclonic circulation is set up, it helps in moisture convergence, and the cyclonic circulation also helps in a deposition of a positive vorticity, and this positive vorticity is known to trigger strong convection, and strong convection is needed for the moisture to go updraft of moisture and form these nimbostratus clouds which give monsoon rains. So this is the philosophy behind the monsoon circulation. Okay, very different from a thunderstorm, which only require convective heating, which is the heating of the ground. But monsoon systems don't require that heating. They are all based on this circulation that is being set up, which helps in moisture convergence and a deposition of positive vorticity, which enhances the convective activity basically entire thing is a low pressure belt now, and that low pressure means moisture will converge, it will updraft, and it will form clouds, and those clouds will stay for a very long time, 2 days, 3 days, even 1 week. So this is the crux. How this monsoon circulation sets up is because as the ITCZ moves upwards, these northeasterly trade winds move up. They settle beyond above the ITCZ line, and below the ITCZ line you have the westerly winds set up by the cross equatorial flow, and that sets up this cyclonic circulation near India. Okay. Yeah. So this is exactly what I am reproducing again. The monsoon circulation during NEM, let us just quickly talk about that. NEM, ITCZ line will shift down. Okay, as ITCZ line shifts down, the easterlies will also shift down, and as the easterlies shift down, you will have a easterly winds which are blowing from east to west. Okay, all the way up to the southern hemisphere. Sorry, all the way up to South India. Okay, and after that, near the ITCZ line, you will have a cross equatorial flow. Okay, there is a possibility of a cross equatorial flow. So the cyclonic circulation will shift down, and this is not a monsoon. This is not a very strong monsoon circulation like during SWM, southwest monsoon. During northeast monsoon, the circulation is very weak. Okay, that's why the winter monsoon or the northeast monsoon circulation is not as strong, and it is only restricted to a very small portion of India, which is South India. Okay, that's why the monsoon trough during northeast monsoon is not very strong. Okay, and hence we are only going to focus on the trough during the southwest monsoon because that is a very strong feature. Okay, so now let us put together the two and let us term this as monsoon trough. So the monsoon trough basically includes the monsoon circulation, which is the large scale circulation which is set up because of the movement of the ITCZ and the change in the wind direction. So this monsoon trough includes both the monsoon circulation and the ITCZ, and the monsoon circulation is cyclonic in nature because you have the below the monsoon trough you have the westerly winds, and above that you have the trade winds. So you create this circulation which is cyclonic in nature because this moves up, this moves like this, and above that it's easterly, so it will set up a circulation cell. Okay. So what is the difference between a monsoon trough and ITCZ? So ITCZ is simply a place where it will set up a convergence of trade winds. ITCZ will not have this monsoon circulation at all. That is the major difference. So monsoon trough will have the ITCZ line embedded in it as well as the monsoon circulation. That is where the monsoon trough plays a very important role because ITCZ will only allow the convergence of these two winds and will not help in any deposition of vorticity because the circulation is missing. Only once you have the circulation very active, then only you can produce vorticity, and that circulation will help in production of system in Bay of Bengal as well as Arabian Sea. Okay, so this circulation is what is going to, if the circulation is very strong, then it will form a very strong vorticity in the Bay of Bengal or Arabian Sea, and that vorticity, so strong vorticity means strong low pressure, and it will help in strong convergence. So the strength of the circulation will determine whether a strong low pressure is going to form in Bay of Bengal or Arabian Sea, or a depression is going to form, which ITCZ will not tell you. ITCZ line is simply a convergence of two winds. It doesn't have a circulation in it. That's where the monsoon trough is different from ITCZ. So very, very important. Monsoon trough includes both ITCZ and a circulation, which is cyclonic circulation. It extends from east to west, because, so basically it starts from South China Sea and ends near Rajasthan, okay, and also north and south. So it has a east-west movement as well as a north-south movement, okay, and most of the systems are produced to the south of this trough. So depending on where the trough lies, the systems are only produced south of that trough because that's where the circulation is very active. Vertical systems are very common, okay, because of this east-west wind pattern, which is a circulation wind pattern that we talked about. And any low pressure system that is formed in Arabian Sea or Bay of Bengal, or mostly Bay of Bengal, will move along the axis of this trough. Okay, so that is the typical definition of a monsoon trough. So now this is the normal position of a monsoon trough. Now what happens is, this is the line where the ITCZ is lying, and this ITCZ line, below that line will be westerly winds, above that line will be easterly winds, which you can see, winds are westerlies, and above the ITCZ line they are changing to easterly winds. So this is the typical position of a monsoon trough. During the position of a monsoon trough, because of the circulation which is active below the monsoon trough, most of the systems, vertical system will form either in the Bay of Bengal or in the land, central India, over central India, which is very common. We say that the cyclonic circulation is seen in Bay of Bengal and central India, or we always see that, or we always hear these terms that a low pressure system has formed over Bay of Bengal. So once that low pressure system forms, it will move along the axis of the monsoon trough. So it will move from east to west and along this line. Of course, it cannot be a straight line. I mean, it cannot, yeah, it doesn't have to be a straight line. It can be wavy as well, but it will kind of move along the axis of this trough. Okay, I hope it is clear. And once that forms, so this is the monsoon trough and this is the offshore trough. The offshore trough dynamics I had discussed in the last video. Offshore trough is very, very different than monsoon trough. Please don't confuse the two. Okay, so this is a strong low pressure system in Bay of Bengal will trigger a offshore trough. That is a completely different dynamics. So please watch my previous video on offshore trough dynamics to understand the difference between offshore trough and monsoon trough. This we have already seen. So how to find out monsoon trough in forecasts? So the basic thing is this monsoon trough is also known as monsoon intra-seasonal oscillation because, as I told you, it extends all the way from South China Sea to Rajasthan. Okay, so you can see that the signature is along this line. So it will move from south to north and it will come in phases. Okay, so it will come in different phases. So now this red means subdued phase, blue means active phase. So now during this time, 21st August, the monsoon trough is very active along the North India, central and North India, that is indicated from this blue line. And as you get into September, along the, so this is going to be weak. Okay, and again there will be a bout of strong monsoon trough. So this monsoon trough basically brings active and break phases, each lasting for approximately 14 days. So during the break phase, what happens is this monsoon trough goes and settles near the foothills of Himalayas. Okay, as that happens, most of the country has a subdued rainfall except for northeast India, including Bihar, Assam, Meghalaya, all those places, plus parts of North India. Only this region will get rain during when the monsoon trough goes and settles near the foothills of Himalayas. Other than that, when the monsoon trough is at the normal position, which is here, okay, it will bring widespread rain to places below the trough. Okay, below the trough. Sometimes what happens is this trough will be somewhere here near start going from South Bay of Bengal, from Andaman Islands all the way to let's say South Konkan. So then what happens is Kerala and South Konkan will get a lot of good rains, including the interior parts of Karnataka. Okay, as this trough shifts slightly above, so starting from North Bay, extending all the way to Rajasthan, then all the places in North Konkan, including Mumbai, will get very heavy to very heavy rains. Okay, including Gujarat and parts of central India. So this is the typical normal position for a monsoon trough. So this is how you find out the monsoon circulation in wind charts. So you see there is this strong westerly winds which are changing to easterly winds as you move up. Okay, because the ITCZ line is somewhere here now. So below the ITCZ line, things are westerly. Above the ITCZ line, winds are easterlies. So you have the strong circulation system, monsoon circulation system that has set up. And how to find out the monsoon trough axis? The monsoon trough axis is the axis that divides the westerly winds from the easterly winds. So below the monsoon trough axis, winds will be westerlies, which is, you can see that westerly winds. Above that, things are easterly. So that line which separates the two is the monsoon trough axis. So as we speak, as I'm making this video, the monsoon trough axis is in the normal position. So parts of North Konkan, Central India, Northwest India will get very good rains. That is, and also East India, of course, like Andhra Pradesh and parts of Odisha will get very heavy to very heavy rains. So this is the normal position. The two positions which are the monsoon trough, other monsoon trough positions are either it will move down, giving good rains to South India, which is including Kerala and South Konkan, or it will move to the foothills of Himalayas, giving good rains to Northeast India, Bihar, UP, and North India as well. So either it will be here or it will come down. Okay. So whenever you see a chart next, you can identify a circulation and you can also identify the trough line. And depending on where the trough line is, one can actually forecast where the heavy rains are going to be. Okay. This is the vorticity production. So this vorticity production in Bay of Bengal, this is again the, this is where the monsoon trough is lying, as you can see. Yeah, this is where it is. Since the trough is very active here, there is a low pressure system that is being produced in Bay of Bengal. And if you track the position of this movement of this low pressure system, it will move along the axis of the trough. So it will move from here to central India and to Gujarat. That's why if you see the IMD forecast, central India and Gujarat have been put on heavy rain alert. Okay, like parts of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and also of course parts of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh have been put on heavy rain alert. Mumbai will also get heavy rains because this will create a offshore trough and that will give good rains. So please check. I mean, like I said, offshore trough is a supplement of this monsoon trough axis. Okay, but whatever dynamics we are talking about today is only related to monsoon trough. Offshore trough is a different dynamics. Please look at my video in the last video that I have uploaded to understand that. Okay, so final thoughts. Monsoon trough, very important. It subsumes both ITCZ and monsoon circulation. The circulation is set up due to the easterly-westerly wind pattern. It extends from east to west. The monsoon trough extends from east to west, from South China Sea to West Rajasthan, and from south to north, from peninsula to Himalayan foothills. The region below the monsoon trough always gets very active rainfall. So wherever the trough is, the region below that will always get very active rainfall, except when the trough goes and settles near the foothills of Himalayas. During that time, only northeast India and some parts of North India will benefit. Okay, rest of India will go into a break phase. It aids in the development of low pressure systems in both Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, and it also produces positive vorticity that helps in strong convergence and strong formation of dense clouds. Okay, and it also has the capability to produce low pressure systems over land. All right, so that is the monsoon trough for you. I hope it was helpful. Please subscribe to my channel if you find these educational videos as well as the other weather updates that I post. If you find them useful, please subscribe and support me in this venture, and also share this video with your friends. Thank you and have a great day.